You put out a note very quickly on this reporting saying the delay did not change ultimately your bullish call on Tesla. Why not?
Look, I mean, it's 2 months. We're not talking 9 months, a year. You'd rather them be what I view as kind of a jaw-dropper event. And that's what really needs to happen in October. And obviously, the delay is not what you want to see. So no one's popping champagne when you hear that there's going to be delayed. Congrats to Ed and Dana on the story. But in terms of the AI story, FSD, the next phase of Tesla, that's unchanged. That's why, in our opinion, this is just more an air pocket period to get on to what I view as gold at the end of the rainbow.
Let's talk about some of the golds at the end of the rainbow. Ed, I mean, we had seen a run-up in Tesla's stock, previous week up 27%. Exactly. We did see a fall yesterday.
Yeah, and look, what really surprised me overnight was all of the retail investor community very publicly on X saying to Elon Musk, like, can you confirm this? Can you confirm this? Like, Bloomberg stands by its reporting, and we always reach out to Elon Musk and any other avenue at Tesla to ask for comment and verify. But Dan, what was it then? I know that you remain bullish on Tesla, but when I said you were coming on the show, a lot of folks in that community were saying, well, explain the 8.4% drop that happened in Thursday's session. Is that just because the run-up in the stock that preceded it, or is it because of genuine concern?
No, I think it's more the run-up. Look, this is going to be a historical day, whether it's 8/8 or 10/8 or whatever day it's going to be in October. A lot of anticipation going in here. And in my opinion, Tesla's more of an AI robotics play than just an auto company. And investors, they don't like delays because then it feeds into that narrative. And obviously the bears that they focus on in terms of empty promises. And I think it's important, and this is the most important thing, that when they have this event in October, it doesn't disappoint. It shows the path for robotaxis, shows autonomous, shows the AI vision and monetization. 2-month delay, that's a rounding error relative to where we see longer term. As we've said, I think the AI story alone is worth $1 trillion for Tesla.
Mr. Ives, we always appreciate having you on this program, Bloomberg Technology. You are unwaveringly bullish on everything. And we just showed a graphic with your coverage, right? All the stocks that you are across. 30 buys, 3 holds, and 0 sells. So, again, I kind of think, Caroline, what would it take to make Mr. Ives a little more cautious on Tesla? What is it that he would see that would make him rethink his call, Caro? I don't know.
Yeah.
Slow down.
I mean, what I'd say, Ed, to that point, look, we've talked, I mean, for the last almost 25 years, I mean, really pound the table on tech. And of course, we've had bad calls in there as well. But our view, especially where we are, and especially the last decade, but especially the last, I'll call it 18 months, this AI revolution's just starting. So when I look at Tesla and talk about what would make us negative, we talked about a quarter or two ago that Musk needed to step it up, right, in terms of adult in the room. I think he did that. I think deliveries was important for 2Q, and I think you saw a lot of the bears going back into their caves for that. But you need to continue to see demand stabilization. No more major price cuts, and October, you got to deliver in terms of this next phase of the story, in terms of Robotaxi.
I'm really interested by the take that you're like, this is an AI robotics play more broadly. That's certainly what we've heard from Elon. Apple suddenly has got on the AI bandwagon as well. They're also talking up production, at least with their suppliers. That's what we reported yesterday. How are you feeling about the AI play for that big company that you're also an outperformer?
And we've talked, the consumer AI revolution goes through Apple. So when you think about WWDC, and I'll compare it a little to maybe a Robotaxi day, that was a historical day. And I think that's where investors started to recognize the keys to that kingdom is Apple. And we've talked about a huge part of what I think, not just the valuation, but catalyzing this next upgrade cycle is going to be Apple Intelligence and AI. And that just speaks to a broader view in tech that we see with Google, Amazon, of course, Nadella and Microsoft, and godfather of AI, Jensen and NVIDIA.
Dan, I want to just remind 2 specific points to our audience that we reported. One is that part of the Robotaxi delay was because I think Elon Musk wanted more to show. We said via sources that they wanted to have more prototypes, but they also had some design rethink. And in the same moment, Uber and Lyft jumped 5% in the session. What did that tell you about how seriously investors in the market take Tesla in basically an app-based ride-hailing platform that Tesla might introduce?
Yeah, and I also, Ed, I'd say, I mean, you get an England win and that scoop. It was a good day for Ludlow, right? And I think when you talk about the AI piece, yeah, I mean, I think there's worries about this fleet and what that could ultimately look like for Uber and Lyft. So that negative for Tesla is viewed as a positive Uber and Lyft. I don't view it as a zero-sum game. I think some of the negatives specifically on Uber is overdone in terms of what this is going to mean from a robotaxi fleet perspective. And I ultimately believe that's something where like they're going to have partnerships as well, Tesla, when it comes to rideshare. But 3-5 years from now, I mean, there's going to be a decent percentage, whether it's 10% or 20%, that ride sharing will not have a driver.